what is happening with our market, what do I foresee happening coming in the next year, and kind of what the stats have told us from middle of the year till the end of the year right now. So stay tuned with my coffee. Welcome back to our channel, Living on the Ohio River, where we serve northern Kentucky and southern Indiana. Hi, I'm Carrie Hinshaw from Key Associates Signature Realty. If you're new to our channel, make sure you tap that subscribe button. Can't talk this morning, it's the coffee. We're doing videos every week, so we wouldn't want you to miss it. So we're gonna talk about what's in the news. The market is falling. Obviously, you're hearing inventory is up. Some things people are thinking is values are falling, and there's tons of inventory out there. What is happening to the real estate world in Indiana? So I'm gonna talk a little bit about Indiana, a little bit more detail probably about Indiana because they just have better data, and touch on Kentucky as well. So for Indiana, monthly home sales for November were down 27% if we're comparing to last year in November. Oh my gosh, that's scary. Don't go buy a house, the market is falling. Well, that is not the truth. This is the time, buyers, if you wanna go buy, get out in the market. Interest rates, yes, they've climbed, but they're still very low compared to what we've had in the past, and we don't know what they're gonna do in the future. And now you have possibilities. You actually can negotiate. You're not in a bidding war. You have time to look at houses. So think about that as we go through the data. I'm gonna highlight it and keep talking, but there's things that buyers need to understand that this is a good time to buy. So don't scare away from the market. Listen to me, I'll give you some stats, and along the way, reasons why you should get in this market and buy. So let's start with Indiana. If we look at like just November, we are down, like I said, 27%. And what's interesting, if you start in June, you can see how we've slowly but surely declined. We were June 8%, 10.5 in July, 7.5 in August, 13 in September, 23 in October, and now 27 in November. So that is how much we've fallen from year to year sales, of closed sales. Now, obviously, this is a slow time of year. So yes, if we're talking about COVID time, we had a lot more sales going on that were not normal during your winter months. So yes, we're falling, but typically we are lower this time of year as well. So it's kind of a hard comparison if you're looking at it from last year. So keep that in mind. One really good thing to highlight if we're looking at sales compared to the rest of the US, and I'll look at it to be for sure. We're actually, if you look from January till where we're at in the end of November, we are only down 12% in Indiana. I did look at Kentucky as well, and they are down 27%. So they're a little bit more around the national average, which is 25%. So Indiana actually is holding pretty good in regards to still moving houses. So it's definitely a place to look if you're looking at Indiana. But keep in mind, we are ahead of the national average in our closed sales. Another thing to put out there is home prices. Are they just being slashed? People assume because the inventory has climbed, our values are falling. Well, that is not the case. I did look at our median home sale, which is $232,000 as of last month. Now, it did fall if we look at from June, which was $250,000. But in general, if we look at it year to date, we are still up 8% as a state. I looked at Kentucky as well, and we're about 4.8% up for Kentucky. So the values of the homes are not falling, they're not slashing. Sellers, do not worry about if you're putting on the houses on the market that you're not gonna get what you're expecting. Now, we may not get COVID time. If you're having someone come in and look at your house for values, I recommend don't go back a year because the values have changed. I actually look 3 months back and start there if there's enough data, and that's a little bit more real of what the values of the houses are selling today. So keep that in mind if you're looking at values, depending on what real estate agent you're looking at. You're gonna not sit on the market if you have a little bit more of a tighter window of looking at closed sales. So something to think about, sellers. But buyers, again, there is a little bit more room for negotiation, right? Prices have fallen a little bit. They're not drastically tumbling down, but there is room to negotiate for closing costs. There's, I don't know, possession times. There's not a war. even builders, guys. There's incentives out there. I was looking at Jago, who pretty much covers the Ohio River, Kentucky, Indiana, both sides, all the way Evansville to Louisville. And they are offering a 5.5% locked interest rate for 30 years. And they're also giving a $200 rebate for 2 years per month for your energy. Like, there is a lot of things that even the builders are doing to incentivize you to get out there and buy or build. So it's a great time, but buyers, keep that in mind. You think it's scary, but there are a lot of things out there that are going in the right direction for you if you're looking to buy. Okay, let's talk about a little bit about regional housing highlights. I'm gonna read straight from Indiana Association Realtors. In the Evansville area, continues to resist a significant slowdown for 2021. Sales are only down 3% year to date compared to 9% statewide. So Southern Indiana is actually probably a little bit more competitive than the rest of the state in regards to just the inventory still moving, a little bit probably more competing, certain price ranges, just to keep in mind as you're looking at our area. And if you look at 9% statewide, even with a year-to-year decline of 23% in November. So we did decline 23% in this area for November, but we are only down 3% year to date. So we're doing really well. Maybe we're catching up, I'm not sure, but that's what the data says. As you know, we're a lagging indicator in real estate. So when January comes, then we can report back in December to see if Southern Indiana is caught up with the rest of the state. Another really interesting thing is that every other region has experienced double-digit decline in new listings for the month, with the exception of Southern Indiana. And this is Evansville all the way to Louisville area on the Indiana side, obviously. And it is saying basically the Evansville area saw listings drop 6% year over year, while Southern Indiana region, which is more by Louisville, like Clarksville, New Albany, Madison, they only saw a 4% drop. So Southern Indiana is still moving its market pretty strong, just in regards to what we're doing with home sales, listings, pendings, everything. We are definitely moving in Southern Indiana as a whole. The overall 2022 statistics for Indiana year-to-date sales was 82,712 homes, which is down 9.5% from last year. And the actual year-to-date listings was 98,307, which is down 4% from last year. So in general, Indiana is very strong. If you're looking to move or relocate to this area, definitely give us a call. If you're looking at Northern Indiana, I can definitely hook you up with the right realtor because I only service really mid-state down. But there's a lot of things happening that are beneficial for buyers as well as sellers. I would say we're still here in Southern Indiana, probably more of a seller's market still. There is still competing going on, but the buyers, there's more options. People are letting up, they're negotiating. There's different things that you can get out of the deals. There's more inventory to look for. So it's definitely starting to even out. Again, sellers, you're still in the driver's seat, but we will see as we go into January in 2022 how things are changing. Interest rates obviously are still up. They did alleviate down to 6.5% for December, which is helping open up the market and moving it still. But interest rates, guys, are still low historically. I know when you had 3%, back a year and a half ago, it made a lot more affordability for those higher end homes. I get it, but we don't know where they're going. I mean, they could be 10% next year. And if you miss the boat where we still have inventory, you have selection, and you have low interest rates still somewhat, it is a good time to get back in that market. If it's your own personal home, if it's investments, jump right back in because it is definitely something to start looking at. It is the best time to buy, in my opinion, right now. I think in 2, 3, 4 years, it could be a different market, and you don't know with regards to just inflation, how the economy is doing, but also the selection of inventory out there, and our interest rate's gonna be 10, 12%. So you don't know what the future holds. We know they're good right now, so get in, jump in, buyers, sellers. Give me a call. I'd be happy to help you assess your situation and get you in your new home or help you sell and either relocate out of the state, which I hope you don't, or maybe a move up home. So I hope you enjoyed our video. It was more just a little bit of a market update. Again, we are a lagging indicator in real estate, so we'll know a little bit more when we jump into January and February. I'll keep doing more of these if you're watching our state to look here, or you live here in the state, as well as Kentucky And if you need anything, reach out to me, 812-686-3268. Be happy to help you. And until next time, I'll see you then.